Yo, everybody. I like making a video here or there, making my views heard. And I had a couple events come together lately, just a confluence of events that made me really want to speak. And it's more on the events in my life, how it affected me, and how I can, maybe help future generations learn those lessons quicker. So I guess the two things I want to talk on are dreams and challenges. Okay, so these are two really big things in my life that I like to talk on. So the dreams thing came up because I was digging through a desk at my mom's house, and I found these right here. If you can't see, that is they're the tickets for the 2000 Olympic trials. So I was fortunate enough to have my parents send me down there, and that was the first time I really saw any international level wrestling. And I remember seeing the looks on these guys' faces and the emotions that they expressed when they made the Olympic team. And literally that weekend, I said, in 2004, I'm going to qualify for the Olympic trials, and in 2008, I'm going to make the Olympic team. I said that to a lot of people, and at that point in my life, I had went 0-2 at Fargo the previous year, and I didn't place that following summer in the freestyle portion of the national tournament. So it wasn't like I was one of those kids that was a national champ that said, I want to do this, and everyone said, oh yeah, he's probably going to do it. Most people said, you're crazy, or you're dumb, or a combination of the two, some combination of the two, right? But I wasn't afraid to express these goals and challenges, and I think that was a really big part of what made me who I am. And still today, I'm not afraid to express those things. I say I'm the #1 welterweight in the world, and I get called crazy and dumb, probably just like when I said that. And that doesn't really deter me from moving on. And I think I can definitely achieve that without a doubt. I think I probably already am that. But so the second part of that would be the challenges, right? And that came because I'm the newly appointed commissioner of the FPL Flow Premier League. And, I'm meeting with some of these guys, and they're saying, oh, I don't want to wrestle this guy, I don't want to wrestle that guy, and it's driving me crazy because I was the kind of person who said, I want to wrestle the toughest guy every single time. And so taking upon those challenges in my life, and I was going to write a book in 2007, well, I did, not published, whatever, and me and a lady who has a PhD in sports psych, we sent out a survey to everyone who won an NCAA title in the last 50 years, right? And so we got one back from Mark Chiarella, 3-time NCAA champ from University of Michigan, amazing wrestler, and he had one of the best answers out of all the answers of all the surveys we got. One of the best answers was he said when he went to a match, he thought, if this guy was in my practice room, would he beat me every single day? And he said I could always answer that question no, because without a doubt, I would be willing to outwork someone over and over and over again. And I think that's important because when we're recognizing challenges, especially as young wrestlers, some of us, some of the young guys, they wrestle a kid once and they get beat by him, or maybe they see him win a state title and they're not on that level yet, and they said, I could never beat that guy, right? And so, I had a lot of experience with this because when I was in my first 2 years of college, I lost to Chris Pendleton 7 times and I beat him once. One of the best things I did was, and it didn't really ever provide any results, but I never was afraid of that challenge. I was always looking at my next match with Chris Pendleton and said, this is the time I'm going to get over the hump. This is the time I'm going to get over the hump. And it never worked, right? And I mean, without Chris Pendleton, heck, I win 4 NCAA titles and have 1 loss in my whole career. So that was a big hump for me that I couldn't get over. But later on in my career, it paid dividends. And that later on would be when this comes back into effect. And I graduated 2007, so I have essentially 15 months till the 2008 Olympic team trials. And I go out and I lose to 2 or 3 guys that were also at my weight, that were also trying to make the 2008 Olympic team. But I made a point to try to wrestle those people and compete as many times as possible against those people over the next 15 months. So by the time I got to the 2008 Olympic trials, those guys were beat. They already knew I was going to win because I had got to the point where I was beating them every single time. And so I have thought my whole life, the more chances I get at somebody, the better I'm going to be, because there's no way someone's going to beat me over and over and over again. I'm going to figure them out. And so going into the 2008 Olympic trials, that was huge because I had a couple guys who beat me in 2007, and then over the fall of 2007, the spring of 2008, I had turned the tables on those. And by the time we got to June, and the 2008 Olympic trials, they already knew I was going to win. They might not admit that, but I wrestled those matches, and I know how it went. Everyone knew I was going to win that weight class at the Olympic trials. So that was a little story about taking on challenges, not being afraid of anyone, and dreaming big. And so you know, those lessons have served me really well in life. And I think if you can also learn to dream big and learn not to be afraid of challenges and not be afraid to lose sometimes, no matter what the circumstances, you guys can maybe go to one of these and then 8 years later, after a lot of hard work and butt kicking, be ready to fulfill all your dreams too.